Hello everyone, it's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl. And today I'm going to be doing my usual review / recap of Star Wars Resistance. Now, this is supposed to be like the mid-season finale. I looked up on IMDb because I thought there was only going to be 10 episodes. Apparently there's supposed to be 14, and they're going to cut it off for this year, and they're going to be returning in 2019. I sincerely hope not, because I can't with this episode. Oh, okay, let's just get right into it. So, episode starts off with Yeager sitting in his little office, and he's just talking to the droid, and he's just like, yeah, I know, Tam's gonna be mad when she finds out I let Kaz take the ship. What happens? Tam walks right in. Why didn't you let him take the ship? And he's like, it's still my ship. And she's like, I don't care whose ship it is. I know it's your ship. I didn't finish fixing it. That's why I don't want anyone to fly it. It's not because I want to fly it. It's because it's missing this freaking part and it's going to explode. Dun, 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 dun. Kaz is in outer space. And I'm like, I know that there's like 20 minutes left of this episode, but I really hope his ship explodes. Like, that would be freaking great. Like, his ship explodes. We're like, oh, so sad the dumbass died. And then Poe shows up because he's supposed to go do a rendezvous with Poe. That's the whole reason why he took the ship to go into outer space, to rendezvous with Poe. Ship explodes. Poe gets there. Oh, so sad. Moving on with everyone's life. Smallest violin in the world. But guess what? Poe shows up to save him just in time when his ship is malfunctioning. Then they go and see Leia. I heard her music. Leia's theme song came on. They go. She has her back to them. She turns around. She opens her mouth, and someone that is not Princess Leia starts talking. I understand that Carrie Fisher is gone. I cried a lot about it. I'm still heartbroken. Many people are. But that wasn't Princess Leia. There are probably hundreds, if not thousands, of people in this world that can probably do Leia's voice. That sounded nothing like Leia. That in the acting was nothing like Princess Leia. And I'm sorry, Princess Leia is a princess. She needs to be addressed that way. Okay, cool, great, she's a general. But you know what? Princess is a higher rank. Even though Alderaan has been destroyed, she was the last monarch of Alderaan. She will always be a princess. Just because something gets destroyed doesn't take away your birthright title. They, in the freaking expanded universe, they go and create new Alderaan. Even when they call her counselor because she's in the Senate and she's working on rebuilding the, I want to say the Empire. She's rebuilding the Republic, and she even becomes president. But still, something that bothers me. She will always be Princess Leia. Then she starts talking, and my eye was twitching because all this nonsense. I'm like, Princess Leia would never speak like this. And then the way Poe starts talking to her, it's like, why on earth are you addressing Princess Leia like this? And she's just like, all right, well, guess what? We found a, outpost of the First Order. Go investigate it. It's like, well, there are probes and whatnot. You don't really want to go marching up to the First Order. That's a great way to get caught instead of doing recon. And I'm just, this wouldn't happen. I'm just thinking about other Star Wars movies, other Star Trek movies, any sci-fi movie, and even any real life movie. Oh, okay, we found the base of the bad guys. Let's just go and let's send our main pilot, since he's the main character in this new Disney franchise. Let's send him and his little buddy that is the main character of this TV show. Let's send them to go do the recon. Not somebody that's expendable. No, let's send them. Instead of probes, droids, no, let's send our one best person, which I wouldn't agree with, and then his dumb friend. Let's do that. And then she looks at him, she's like, Poe, I'm telling you right now, do exactly as I say, and don't engage the First Order. Logic out the window. What does Poe do? Oh, okay, I won't. We already know this from the stupid Last Jedi movie. Poe doesn't listen to Leia. Leia is the one freaking person in this entire freaking show that deserves to be listened to, and you don't take her advice. You don't listen to her, even though she is your higher ranking officer. I don't understand how this guy is still... Maybe that's why he's in the Resistance, because he wouldn't last anywhere else because he doesn't know how to take orders. But anyway, moving on. If we have to. they go, and they're, oh, guess what? This base is on an asteroid and an asteroid belt. All right, so we're going into an asteroid belt. What do we see? Oh my gosh, there's beacons. My first initial thought is like, okay, there's beacons around the perimeter to let the First Order know if anyone, infiltrates it. No, instead, you would think, I feel like, did they not learn anything like from World War I or World War II? Like, it makes me think of World War I with the minefields and like no man's land in between the trenches. It's like, yeah, they kind of have to protect their borders. Even those stupid games that pop up that are ads, like, what is it, like Clash of Clans or something, where they show and like the troops are coming in, and so you have to build all these barriers that were like a minefield type of thing. That's what I thought it was. Something that is either a minefield or something that will let them know that somebody's coming in. No, guess what? They're beacons that lead you straight to it. It's a freaking golden brick road all the way to the base. So they follow the golden brick road to the base. Logic out the window. So we get to the base, and guess what? Oh my gosh, they're able to land perfectly in the base. Apparently, even in a garage, you have a garage door, so people can't get into your freaking garage. But apparently, even in Revenge of the Sith, when Obi-Wan and Anakin are fighting with General Grievous, they have to like shoot the freaking shield doors so they can fly in, and then the blast doors are closing and they almost get smashed. But no, they just fly right in. No problem. Absolutely no issue. They could just fly and land on the First Order base. They did a scan beforehand to also learn that there is no people on this base and there are no active droids. So it's an abandoned base. All right. Okay. So they go in the base. They're doing recon. And when you look at the base, it's pretty freaking big. It's like, here's the base, and then a tiny little speck that you can't even see because it's microscopic would be the humans, would be Poe and Kaz. But guess what? Conveniently, they're able to walk onto this base, fly and land, walk through the base, find exactly what they needed. So they find a terminal, BB-8 plugs into it, and there's this little droid that's in there that neither of them notice. It's not turned on, but BB-8 plugs into the base. Kaz is looking on the computer thing, and Kaz is just like, Poe, we probably shouldn't be here. And it's like, okay, now when there's other characters that are, more of a figurehead than Kaz is, that's when Kaz, I've noticed, starts having better ideas. But when Kaz is front and center, he's a complete idiot and he's completely useless. So Kaz is on the computer, and Poe's just standing there with his blaster, and Kaz is just like, yo, Poe, we probably shouldn't be here. General Leia told us not to engage. And Poe just like, oh yeah, well, we're not engaging, we're just walking around. It's like, bro, the second you entered this area, you engaged with it. And Kaz does point that out. So I'm like, okay, Kaz, you're a sidekick. You're not a main character. You are a sidekick character, but they're trying to ship him as the main character of the show. Anyway, then they find out, oh my gosh, there's nobody here because this place is gonna blow up. It's scheduled for like demolition. And they're like, what? Why? And I was thinking the same thing too. I'm like, this is a really big base. Like, you can't blow up something else. You can't go find something else that's abandoned. Where does all this money come from? Like, space stations like this cost freaking money. The First Order, everything's brand new and fancy. And that is the one thing I have to say about this episode. That the animator, or not the animator, but like the cell shader that went through and colored and stylized the interior of this base did a fantastic job. I would just like to say that I was very impressed by the backgrounds. The characters look like shit, but the backgrounds, the environments, they did a really good job. The floors are all nice and shiny because apparently nobody walks on them since it's abandoned. But that part is the only good thing about this damn episode. So they're like, oh no, it's gonna blow up. Cut over to the First Order. Phasma's there. She's looking at something. She turns around. Red Stormtrooper's there. And she's just like, we have intruders on the base that we are going to explode. You need to come with me and we are going to go investigate. It's like, alright, again, I get it, you want to like show off your new characters, but Phasma seems like she's pretty high up in the ranks. You don't send someone like that to go deal with intruders. You send stormtroopers, you send someone else. You don't send the head of the freaking military to go deal with nothing. Oh my gosh. It's like, I need to calm down. So, they go to the station, and then guess what? Poe and Kaz look out the window, and they see, oh no, the First Order's coming. Let's go to the main station of this base, and let's go get the information. So they're trying to get into the computers, and Poe does nothing except stand there. Kaz and BB-8 do everything. So Kaz and BB-8, Kaz gets in the computer, he's like, oh my gosh, I found out why they're using the station. This station is mining this element out of this asteroid. And then Poe's just like, that's the element that they use to make blasters. And Kaz's like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of blasters. Really? They're preparing for a war. You're going to be surprised that they're making weapons. So, they find out that this is a weapon, or a mining station that gets elements to make weapons. Alright, cool. You couldn't have put that together from sending in a freaking probe. But anyway. So, BB-8 starts downloading the information, First Order lands, and Phasma gets off, and all she does is put her hands on her hips and barks orders. This is how Phasma, and they did a good job of making her look very feminine in this armor. I know in the actual live action movies, the only reason you know it's a woman in it is because they advertise everywhere that it's Gwendolyn Christie and her voice. But in this, it's weird. Even the legs on her thighs, the armor is curved, and the person that animated it makes her walk like a woman. When women walk, we do this thing with our hips. When men walk, they do something different with their shoulders. So it's very obvious that it's a woman walking and obviously talking, but even it's a lot more softer and rounder, the way that they do her armor and everything. They do keep her height. It's not as noticeable, but it's if you look her in a lineup compared to the other stormtroopers, you would know that it's a woman. So they did a good job of that, the animator and shader that did that. So bravo to them. You made her look feminine like a woman. You didn't need to, but you did it, and it's subtle that people would look and know it, but it's not completely obvious. So back to the plot of this episode, if you want to call it that. Guess what? They engage. They're on a big, gigantic space station, but somehow, the second Kaz and Poe walk out the door, they're stormtroopers. What are the freaking odds? And it's the stormtroopers with the bomb. So, Poe's just trying to, oh, I'm not engaging, I'm just pointing my gun at the freaking bomb, but, I'm not engaging, and Kaz is like, Poe, or you're talking to them, you're engaging with them, and he's like, no, I'm not, and then they back up, Poe shoots, because there's stormtroopers on each side that are closing in, he shoots, the doors start closing, and it's a callback to A New Hope. They're shooting through the doors at them, and they escape. And then guess who else they run into? They run into Phasma, and I'm just waiting for her to die again in this episode, and this was it is 100% the most boring fight chase sequence I have ever seen. I was sitting here watching it. I had my phone in the other room. I had everything else locked because I have to focus on it, because if there is one thing to distract me, even a freaking fly can fly by, and I'll look at it and my mind is just completely off, because it doesn't capture your attention in the slightest. So I'm paying attention, I'm trying my hardest to not zone out. Nothing interesting happened. They're fighting, they're shooting, Kaz and Poe are almost caught. Guess what? They get away. They run the opposite direction. They go this way. Poe is doing stupid stuff and then trying to show that Phasma is his arch enemy, and they're trying to fight each other, and Kaz runs over to a station and gets something so that way something moves and hits something. So, the bridge that they're running on knocks over, and Phasma falls and is like, oh my god, is she gonna die again? You can kill her and she keeps coming back. It's like a video game. When you die and you just rejuvenate. That's exactly what it is with Phasma. But she falls on boxes and she jumps off, and then she starts running again. It's like, alright, cool. And then they go, and the ships are out waiting, and the red TIE fighter, he's off waiting with his other TIE fighters. And so they're going to get them, and the girl BB-8, the pink and blue one that's in the ship, because regular BB-8 is with Poe and Kaz, comes over with their ships. They're going to get them, and then Phasma and the stormtroopers go back to their ships. Everyone gets in their ships and starts flying away. Red stormtroopers going after them. And then Phasma's just like, stop. Don't engage them anymore. You need to come with us. And he's like, but I almost have them. I'm going to get them. She's like, it's too late. The station is going to explode. And so First Order flies off. And then Kaz and Poe are in their X-Wings. And Kaz is like, oh, yay, they're leaving. And then the station starts exploding. And it's like, oh, no. So guess what they do? They book it, but they can't go to light speed because they can't, get, oh my god, why am I blanking on this word? They can't navigate through it or, do the hyperspace jump because there's too many asteroids in the way. They don't have enough time to sit there and wait for it to plow out. But anyway, we learned this in, I'm like losing my breath. We learned this in the first Star Wars movie when Han's like giving Luke the lecture. So, they're flying. The explosion's coming after them. And it's the worst looking explosion I've ever seen. So, they're flying. The fire's right here. Poe's is slightly in front of Kaz. And Kaz is like, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. And Poe's just like, just keep going. Just keep going. All of a sudden, Kaz goes down like this. Instead of going straight, his ship, he aims it down. And Poe's just like, oh no, Kaz! And then he gets out of the explosion. The explosion's done. For some reason, it just stops. And he turns around and he's like, oh my god, Kaz! Where are you, Kaz? Kaz, where are you? And so he goes searching for him. It's like, and it's very dragged out. I thought, I was like, oh, is this going to be the end? And it's going to be left on a cliffhanger since there's going to be like a this is the mid-season finale thing. No. Guess what? Kaz answers, hey, Poe! And guess what? Oh my gosh. He hit his X-Wing in an asteroid. And I'm just like, somebody didn't take physics. Somebody wrote this episode, and I'm 100% sure there was at least one person that sat there and was like, that's not how the laws of science work. I mean, if you have an explosion, everything within the vicinity is going to explode. You want to take a rock, a boulder, but no, the asteroids didn't, get hit by the fire and, implode like that. No, they stayed together and got singed. Again, I took physics. I did. I took it in college and in high school. Science. You want to go watch Mythbusters? Go watch it. When something blows up, especially to that magnitude, where you're flying through, hundreds of miles of space, and this thing is following you, but somehow it doesn't explode the asteroids. You can even go watch the original Star Wars. You can go watch the prequels. And yes, Star Wars is not scientifically accurate. An explosion would never happen in space. It would be like a kind of weird vacuum thing. It's interesting. Go watch a YouTube video on it and see how explosions would really work in space. That being said, if you're going to show that explosions are in space, for theatrical effects, the asteroids would have blown up. And then, this is even worse. I was just like, okay, they're trying to do it for plot. Poe hit in an asteroid, or not Poe, Kaz hit in an asteroid. Asteroid got singed, and then instead of backing his X-Wing up and flying off because it was in this little cave, which conveniently fit him. Instead of backing up, he flies through it because it's a loop, kind of like a donut that goes through. I'm like, his ship would have gotten destroyed. It was completely encaptivated by the freaking logic. Logic is gone. All science is gone. It doesn't exist. They go back. They see Leia again. The music, the Princess Leia music didn't play in this song, or in this time they saw her. She's just like, this information is very valuable. And then Kaz is just like, my dad is in the Senate, and they're not gonna act on this just because it's showing that they're making weapons. And then Leia's just like, yeah, you know what, Kaz, you're right. They're not, because they're making money off of this. They're making money off the First Order making weapons. But this is invaluable to me. And then he's just like, well, thank you for letting me join the resistance. And she's like, this isn't my resistance. I'm just helping it. I can't. This is not Star Wars. This was a horribly written episode. This was not exciting. You want to have this as your season finale or mid-season finale. I just sincerely hope that this is a series finale, because what the hell was that? This was one of the most boring episodes I have ever seen. The fact that there's some movies where it's like you have to watch it again to catch the movie mistakes. This one, it was just like, that is impossible. That would never happen. Science, out the window. Princess Leia would never speak like that. All of a sudden you have your main character who is very obviously a sidekick character, but you wouldn't have him as the main character. He's stupid in every other episode, but whenever it's an episode with someone else as the main character, all of a sudden he becomes smart, or not smart, but he actually has intelligent things to say every now and a blue moon. And then, I know this is just a weird inconsistency, but Oscar Isaac, and they have him in this as Poe, he is not the tallest guy. Gwendolyn Christie is a very tall woman. She's like 6'3". He is, 5'9". Okay, that's a bit of a height difference, and I'm a very short person, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, how come everyone is like 5'9" in this show? And even Mark Hamill is 5'9", and when he meets Leia, what's the first thing she says to him? Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper? Poe is the same height as all the stormtroopers, and every angle with Captain Phasma, it's looking up at her, and the stormtroopers are like a few feet behind her. But if they were, she'd probably only be like slightly taller than them. I'm like, you want to see Gwendolyn Christie? She's a really tall woman. I mean, she is a full 1.5 feet taller than I am. Like, that's a big freaking difference. She's a very large human. There's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with Poe's height either, but it's inaccurate. It blows my mind, and then they try to say, oh, it's okay, this is just a kid's show, they won't notice this. Yeah, they freaking would. I'm telling you right now, if you had Han Solo and Chewbacca come on, and Han is the same height as Poe, kids are gonna notice. It blows my mind. It is no excuse that this is a children's show. Avatar: The Last Airbender is an amazing show. That is a children's show, but it can be enjoyed at all ages. You want to say that because it's a cartoon and it's aimed at children and that means it doesn't have to be good? You are 100% wrong. You want to go back and watch any... I feel like I grew up in the best time because that's when all the best cartoons were on. Go watch Batman the Animated Series. Go watch Superman the Animated Series. Go watch Justice League. Go watch Justice League Unlimited. Yes, they are superhero shows. Even comic books were aimed at children. They have phenomenal stories. Star Wars can be enjoyed at all ages. Not this new one. Not this new crap that they're trying to shove down our throats. It is not good. So stop using the excuse that it's for children. Get over it. It's like, well, guess what? When I was a kid, there was freaking awesome shows. There was Rocket Power. Even Rugrats was a phenomenally better show. And Rugrats is a freaking good show. Hey Arnold. Oh my, I can go on and list names. I'm trying to think of like a younger age. There's PB&J Otter. There's Roly Poly Oly. Those are aimed for even younger kids. Those still actually had a plot. This is just garbage. This is like, let me take something. Let me try to make it look cool. Let's take characters that we know people loved. Well, not in this show, except for Leia. Let's take, stormtroopers. Let's make them different colors. Let's throw shininess on them. People will buy it. No, we won't. No, we won't. This is not good. It's not Star Wars. And it either needs to be fixed, which I don't think that's possible. It needs to be fixed or it needs to be stopped. And that is all I have to say about this, and I am so glad I don't have to watch this until next year, and hopefully I won't have to watch it next year. Anyways, everyone, I hope you enjoyed my version of a review / recap of this episode. Yeah. That being said, everyone, have a great rest of your day. And may the Force be with you, because we are really going to need it.